I've done other videos on the ongoing problem of falling U.S. birth rates. By the end of 2024, there were actually slight increases in births, although some experts doubted it was the start of an upward trend. The average children per woman then was about 1.6 births. It still fell below replacement levels, so it showed our society is not increasing in population. By comparison, in the 1960s, the U.S. fertility rate was an estimated 3.5 children per woman. The U.S. was once among a handful of developed countries with a fertility rate that ensured each generation had enough children to replace itself, roughly 2.1 per woman. But over 2 decades of falling birth rates has changed everything. This new video will look at the 2025 birth rates and what is causing continuing falling rates. In 2025, U.S. births fell a little, totaling 3.6 million children, according to the CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The U.S. has actually remained below replacement level fertility since 2007, with only brief exceptions since the early 1970s. What does this mean for America's economic and social future? As a population collapse appears to be happening, it is straining the economy and weakening social safety nets. Others, though, see the decline as a natural result of societal progress, women's empowerment, and benefiting environmental sustainability. But this demographic shift is touching every aspect of American life. This includes the viability of Social Security and Medicare, economic growth, housing markets, educational systems, military recruitment, to political representation. The babies not being born today were to become the missing workers, consumers, taxpayers, and the innovators of tomorrow. Experts say people are marrying later and also worry about their ability of having money, health insurance, and the other resources needed to raise children in a stable environment. More women are waiting longer to have children or have decided to not have them at all. Then there is the matter of dropping fertility rates caused by couples unable to conceive babies. Last year, the Trump administration expanded access to and reducing the cost of in-vitro fertilization and backing the idea of baby bonuses that might spur on more couples to have children. Karen Guzzo, a family demographer at the University of North Carolina, says the 2025 fertility rates were expected to fall because childbearing is highly related to economic conditions and uncertainty. But the total fertility rate went up. She said most of the births in 2025 were children conceived in 2024, when couples were worried about affordability and political polarization. The 2025 raw data from the CDC showed the following. Total fertility rate, 1.79 births by all women. General fertility rate, 54.6 measuring births per 1,000 women ages 15 to 44. In total births, 3.6 million children were born. The numbers illustrate a crucial point. A small rise from 2023 to 2025 doesn't necessarily signal reversal of a long-term fertility decline. Keep in mind that after World War II, America experienced a baby boom that peaked around 3.5 children per woman in the early 1960s. This explosion in births reflected returning servicemen starting families, economic prosperity, and cultural expectations that strongly favored large families. By 1976, a baby bust occurred that brought the fertility rate down to 1.7 per woman. The U.S. Census Bureau, in a study, found women in recent years are not just delaying childbearing, they're having fewer children overall. If delay were the only factor, the total fertility rate would remain stable as women caught up in their 30s and 40s. The continued decline indicates permanent changes in family size preferences and capabilities. A final note, prospective parents face unprecedented financial pressures from 3 major expenses that rapidly cause increased costs. These are childcare, housing, and healthcare. These expenses don't exist in isolation. They compound each other to create what many families experience as an impossible obstacle to parenthood. Higher costs leave less money available for other family expenses and make it harder to afford the larger living spaces that children require. A couple paying 40% of their income for a 1-bedroom apartment faces a daunting financial challenge when considering the need for a larger place and all the other costs of a child. From Indiana, this is H.A. Graves.